I must say this. It's really, really, really unfortunate if Maldives has taken a decision as a country to become anti-India. I can only say this, that Maldives have everything to lose. Rozaina, Adam, I'm curious to know how you and the Maldivian Democratic Party are viewing this. You're a member of parliament, but I can tell you here that one day, the estimated loss in one day of reaction from India is 100 million or 800 crores. 10,500 tickets have been cancelled. 500 bookings have been cancelled. 5,000 bookings have been cancelled. 100 million is one day's loss. If this continues, the Maldivian economy, which is principally dependent on tourism, will be brought to its knees. Indians' direct contribution in the Maldivian GDP is 6 to 8%. If Indians boycott Maldives, it will cost your entire industry. It will not have an impact limited to tourism alone. It will extend to other areas as well. Is this something that, in your view, the people of Maldives must be forced to risk?
Hi, by the way, my name is Rozaina. And to your question, this is not something we want happening right now. From what has happened, we do get the question whether our president actually loves our country. Does he actually love Maldives? Would he be doing this if he had any thought for the benefit of the Maldivian people? I was quite shocked by the comments made by these people. To be honest, I felt ashamed that people within the government could sink so low. Some of the remarks were downright racist, as everybody would agree, and it was undignified and so disrespectful. I mean, I don't see how His Excellency Prime Minister Modi promoting his own country has got anything to do with Maldives. It's just none of our business. So I really don't understand why some deputy ministers from the government had to go and comment on it in the first place. So I just don't believe that government officials can make such derogatory remarks and then claim it's their personal opinion and not the government's opinion, as per the statement released by the government. You can't just call people names and all sorts of things and then just say that it's their own personal opinion. They don't have the right to make such criticisms when they're in government posts, responsible posts where they're representing the country. So, of course, we are quite horrified. And this is not what they have said is not the view of the average Maldivian. But I have to say that this is the outcome of a very toxic campaign led by Muizzu over the last 5 years when they were in opposition. The main theme of their internal political campaigning was India out for whatever reason. I guess they were trying to hit a patriotic nerve within the people of the Maldives by creating lies. And they have this online newspaper where they spread lies every day. Even going so far as to put on false documents out there for people to see, to convince them that Indian military was trying to take over the Maldives, and that India was trying to control the Maldivian politics, and so many that they were trying to build a military base in Maldives, so many things that were not true. And now that they are in power, they are unable to bring out any documents to justify the claims that they had been making. So it's quite obvious that the whole campaign was built on lies and building hatred towards India. And actually, this has strained the Maldives-India relationship in terms of how our citizens see each other. Now, when I look at the social media, I'm so sad to see all these negative comments being thrown at each other among our citizens. This should not have happened. We have had really good relationships with India for so long as I can remember. India has been our closest ally. They've been there for us in every difficulty we faced, starting from the terrorist attack in 1988 and up until the COVID recently. So through all this, India has been our friend and ally, and there is no reason, there is absolutely no justifiable reason for President
We
Muiz
are,
and his government to make
Rozaina,
India a tool in their internal political campaigns.
yeah,
And today, this is the result of that. These
Ro- Ro-
people who were given the posts of deputy ministers were given those posts because of the tweets that they had been sent him prior to the election, the work that they were doing in the social media to promote Muiz and his policies, out of which India Out was the most prominent one. So basically, I would say that what has happened today, this blow on their faces, everything has blown out of proportion, and this was bound to happen. I mean, for 5 years, they've been anti campaigning against India for no reason. So, actually, this was bound to happen. And this is a big loss for the Maldivian people. We have built our tourism industry through a lot of hard work, through many years of marketing and advertising and giving great hospitality, providing really good services, being tolerant and being helpful and being kind and
yes,
being accepting. But now, because of the remarks of these prominent ministers, deputy ministers in the government, it seems like
yes.
everything that we have done over the years, it's just out the door, and we are in a really bad situation, as you just mentioned.
Rosanna, I first of all apologize for getting my pronunciation of your name wrong, and I compliment you on your courage. Maldives is a beautiful country. I have had the great pleasure of visiting it once. And you know what occurs to me the most, Sushant, as she says out here, that unlike the Chinese, Indians have historical, cultural, linguistic, and democratic links with the Maldives. China can never be a democracy. It can never create historical, cultural, and linguistic links with the Maldives, and hence Indians are naturally closer in affinity to the Maldives. Uh, the dangers
Arnab,
for Maldives must be understood, and maybe Sushant, you can explain this. How do you view why this has sparked? What is the real reason behind this? It can't just be a few silly ministers saying the wrong things on social media. Must be more to it than that.
so Arnab, let's get a couple of things very straight. I really appreciate the views of our fellow panelists from the Maldives, and I really wish these were the views of majority of the people of Maldives, but unfortunately they are not. These are the views of a minority because the people who are in power, who uttered all kinds of vile stuff against India and Indians, they are the people who won with 54% vote. So you have to understand that majority of the Maldivians, uh, the guys and the vileness that they were uttering from their filthy mouths is the views of majority. They were articulating the views or the sentiments of majority of the Maldivians. I don't see how you can put whatever other spin anybody wants to put on. Secondly, Arnab, let's be very clear. Uh, yes, love is a very good emotion, but when it comes to politics, hate is a much more potent emotion, and it works much better in politics. Muizzu and his ilk have only indulged in hate politics, not only against India, but also within their own country. So yes, so one is that, and second, even more powerful than love, is the lure of the lucre, which the Chinese are able to buy out a lot of people, throw slosh money around, throw their money around, uh, open some nice fancy accounts elsewhere for whatever purposes. So yes, there are reasons to believe that some of these guys are also on the take. So both the factor of bribery as well as the factor of hate, and that hate is ingrained in them. That is part of their political campaign. That's part of their politics. That's part of their ideology. I think Professor Nalapat spoke about the number of people from the Maldives who made a beeline for ISIS. Maldives is supposed to be paradise. Imagine people, 1 out of every 1,000 Maldivians went and joined the ISIS. That's the ratio. That's the highest ratio anywhere in the world. The numbers are about 5 to 600 people who went and joined. It's a population of about 600,000 people. Just do the math. So yes, there's clearly a problem which has been there in the Maldives. Uh, now our problem has been, Arnab, that yes, we are their closest neighbor. Yes, uh, because Maldives is a very important country, regardless of the size of the country. Size of the country doesn't matter. Uh, and frankly, all this, I'm not even going to get into history, culture, and stuff like that, because in international relations, it matters only if people are interested in making it matter. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. Ideally, Pakistan and India should have been the best of friends, right? We share our history, we share our culture, we share so many things. But look at the Pakistanis. Uh, you wouldn't even want them as an enemy if they are so stupid. But Maldives is an extremely important country. The problem is that there have been problems from our end, because yes, we've been a very benign neighbor. Yes, we've always helped them. Yes, we've done all of it. But we've, somehow, and I know many people will find this very offensive, and I don't mean any disrespect, but somehow we've never created that sense that if you cross our path, then there is going to be a cost to pay, that there will be consequences that will be visited if you
No,
cross
what
our
would
path.
that be?
But we
No,
will
what
do
would that
whatever,
be? What would
we
that
will
be?
do everything.
No,
One second,
what would
Arnab,
that be? What would that
I'm
be
not going
in
to articulate
concrete
that, but
terms? In
Arnab,
concrete
I'm not
terms,